Back in the late 70s, 80s, early 90s, back when I was policing, there was something known as having choir practice. For those that don't know what that means, when you're policing, some of the guys will get off from work, we go out and have a good time together. Go to somebody's house, go to a bar, just go do anything. And the story I'm going to tell you, either tonight or tomorrow, it may be tomorrow because I got a lot of work to do back here, is a choir practice that about 10 of us decided to do, but it wasn't around the neighborhood, it was actually traveling, going to a lake. Now this is going to sound real familiar, like the Apalachicola story I told when I was in Florida. That happened years later. The one I'm going to relate to you now happened when I was actually a police officer. I think it had to be maybe 1980, somewhere in there. But there's a book written by, I think his name is Joseph Wambaugh, and also a movie that was made called The Choir Boys. And this book and movie related to the fact that police officers get together on their own as a group and unwind. So the story I'm going to tell you is going to be true, just like it happened. About a time when my buddies got together after work, we all decided to go have choir practice. Stick with me. I'll do that tonight or tomorrow. I'll put it on here. I think you enjoy it. If you don't, watch the movie, read the book. But of course what we did has nothing to do with the book. We just had a good time. You know what I mean? I'll get that done here in the next tonight or tomorrow, okay? Gonna be cold tonight. I've tried to tell the story for about 4 days now. Seems like every time I try to tell a story, I get interrupted, and I'm not sure I'm not going to get interrupted tonight while I'm doing this. Got the door closed, got everything set up. I'm going to tell you a story about the choir practice, one I promised. This is going to be a unedited version, which means, which means I'm not going to go in and edit the thing. It's going to be just like I'm telling it right now. I'm not going to go in my computer and take stuff out and put stuff in and all that. It's going to be just like it is. Okay? Now, like I said, I've tried it for 4 days. I keep getting interrupted, but hopefully right now I'm not, but we'll see. One thing I want to show you. Got a book, a very good book. It's called 41, A Portrait of My Father by George W. Bush. Whether or not you like the Bushes or not, this is a very good book. If you don't like the people, just read the book. It's a very personal, intimate portrait from George Bush to his dad. Very good book. I'm not promoting a book, just something I like. Let's get to the story. Remember, this is unedited, so you will get just the way I'm doing it right now, provided I don't get interrupted. Choir practice. Police choir practice. Back when I was policing, and even today I think, police officers get together, have a good time after work. There's not a lot of places police officers can go out into the public and have a good time. You know, I know I'm doing this with my beard, and I'm hitting my mic, but maybe that's the last time. Back when I was policing, the late 70s, early 80s, late 80s into the 90s, that's when I was policed. But back in the late 70s, early 80s, we'd have choir practice and go out and have a good time. Drank beer. Some of them drank liquor. I didn't drink liquor. I have drank liquor, but trust me, I don't, because I know what it does to me. I get stupid real fast. And you don't want to see me when I'm stupid. Or that kind of stupid. We'd have choir practice. We'd go out and have fun, get together after work. There was a place, when I say place, there was an apartment building. Probably had about 7 different buildings with, I don't know, 10 apartments in each. Let's say 70 apartments. Every apartment there either had a law enforcement officer, police officer, sheriff deputy, or DEA, or whatever, living there. It also was a place where airline stewardess lived, because we lived right next to an airport. Now, I'm not going to tell you where it's at, but it's the busiest airport in the world. You can figure that out. So we had police officers, sheriff's department deputies, EMTs, medics, doctors, nurses, airline stewardess, and pilots living in this one place. So that's where all of us would get together and have choir practice. Now, choir practice is just everybody in that profession would get together and just unwind, have a good time. You know what I mean? Now, during this time when I was policing, I was a happily married man. Some people are not going to believe it, but I was happily married. I've never went outside of my marriage for anything. I never did. And that's damn God's truth. But anyway, we'd all get over there and have choir practice. And where this place was at, there was a liquor store right down the road. And this liquor store pretty much survived because of that apartment complex where everybody got together. We'd go out party, have a good time. I even took my wife over one time. One time. She didn't like it. But let me get back to the story. So all this time, I'm gonna take these glasses off. It makes me look better. What do you think? I think I might get interfered with just a second because I can hear down out there. But we were there one night having choir practice, and we were all talking. And remember, I only drink beer. I don't drink alcohol. It's another one of the things you need to keep in the back of your mind. So one of us, I don't know if it's me or one of my other buddies, says, "Why don't we go somewhere sometime?" I mean, it's always here. So we all decided, let's go up to a lake one night, just maybe a couple of days, go up on Friday, come back on Sunday. Great idea. So we all make plans, right? We're get together, make plans. One of the officers where I worked, his uncle had a cabin up on the lake, just north of where we were at. Now, I'm not going to tell you where we're at, but it's the busiest airport in the world. We went to a really large lake north of there, 700 something square miles. So his uncle has this house up on the lake. We're welcome to go there. Again, this is going to sound like a Florida deal, but it's not. Completely different. This is years earlier. So, 2-3 weeks, we all got together, who wants to go, and all this. So, we finally agreed, everybody made plans. We had police officers, sheriff's department, EMTs, medics, nurses, doctors, airline stewardess, and pilots all agreed. Excuse me. So everybody got together, agreed when we're going to be there, got the instructions on how to get to this place. We all got there. This was on a Friday afternoon. We planned on coming back Sunday. If I do this, that's because I'm reaching for my glasses because I ain't got them on. That's just a habit. So, a bunch of us got in one car, truck, one up, got there. I think I was in the first truck because I was with the guy to go to find a place, to his uncle's place. Beautiful place up on the lake. My nearest neighbor was, 100 yards away. Beautiful houses right on the lake, Oh, this is great. This is going to be so good. You know what I mean? It's going to be so good. Later on that afternoon, everybody else started coming in. Nurses, pilots, doctors, EMTs, medics, sheriff's department, everybody come in. Now, you got to remember something. Remember this real good. You get a bunch of police officers or sheriff's deputies or sheriffs or whoever it is in one place, every one of them somehow is armed with a firearm. This is later on down the line, okay? Every one of them's got a firearm on. So, when we get there earlier that day, the rest of the people hadn't showed up. We figured we're going to go out and fish a little bit. Now, the one that owned the house, beautiful house, had a boat there, so we got in the damn boat and went out trying to fish a little bit. Now, me being a fisherman from long back, I know how to fish. My buddies don't know how to fish that good. They didn't catch a damn thing all day. So we get back to the back into the house at the dock there, and about that time, when we get back, everybody's coming in for the weekend. Now we're in the house. We got all these people, firemen, doctors, no lawyers, doctors, nurses, EMTs, everybody there. Well, we had stopped at a liquor store on the way up. Now, I only drink beer. I have been known to drink liquor, but I can't drink liquor, as I said, because I get stupid. But we bought beer, liquor. So everybody's there. We're having a good time. We cooked, ate supper, and sitting around talking. And of course, we're going to have a poker game, right? Got to play poker. So everything's going good. But I hear one of my buddies outside hollering at somebody. I said, who is that? They said, well, that's John. I said, what is he doing? I don't know. So I went outside. I said, John, what's wrong? Hey, that's the motherfucker. And the guy that lived next door apparently lived there all year long, full term, was talking to John. Wasn't no talking going, because John was hollering, talking about his geese or ducks or what, I don't know what they were. They wasn't ducks, but they big old things, white. These were his pet ducks, geese, or I don't know what they were. They were pretty. They were white. They were floating around in the water up on the land, and John had apparently got attacked by one of them. And when I say attacked, I don't think he was life-threatening. He just got chased by one of them. And John didn't like it, so he was hollering at the guy next door. So, John, come on in the house. Come on, let's go. Let's go. So we got John in the house. Now, later on that night, we're all sitting around playing poker. Now, John, being the good guy he is, a couple of the other guys with him, I'm not gonna say they wasn't with him out there. They had disappeared from around the table. Let me get off camera a minute. They had disappeared from around the table. The next thing we knew, or we heard, was hollering and screaming again. So we all went outside on the patio, and there's John out there with the neighbor next door, screaming and hollering about them damn geese or ducks or whatever they were. We said, John, come in. So we finally got him back in again. Now, right now, let me tell you, John had just got married. He had only been married a couple weeks at this time. And how his wife let him go with us, I'll never know. But she did. He was there. Because we was going to go fishing. Little she knew that a bunch of police officers actually act this way. So we got John back in the house. Everybody's there. About an hour later, the same thing. Now it's about 11 o'clock at night. Well, it's about 10 o'clock at night. I get to 11 o'clock at night. Now it's about 10 o'clock at night. The same thing went on again because John and two other buddies went outside raising cane. The next thing we know, there's a knock on the door. So me, being the sober one, right, goes to the door. It's the county sheriff. I open the door. He says, we got a noise complaint. I said, really? From who? And remember, I'd been there all day, so I've been drinking. He said, from the neighbor next door, y'all are causing problems. I said, well, I don't know how. John just come out of the bathroom, walks up and said, what the fuck y'all want? Excuse my language. We here on a noise complaint. Did that some gun next door call? He said, yeah. And apparently this deputy is not, well, he's very smart. He's not bad guy. He looks around, he's looking at uniforms, he's looking at guns and gun belts laying everywhere, and he said, are y'all in law enforcement? Choir practice, part 2. Now the deputy was at the door. He says, are y'all in law enforcement? I'm looking around, I'm going, like, what gave it away, you know? I said, yeah, most of us are, some nurses, doctors, and whatever's here. Oh, y'all having choir practice? I said, yeah. He said, look, my shift gets over at 11 o'clock tonight. And do you mind if me and some of my buddies come over when we get off work? I said, well, let me ask. Everybody's sitting there, you know, real still, and sure, come on over. I said, yeah, no problem, come on over. But in the back of my mind, I'm going, could be good. At least we're going to have local law enforcement over here with us, local deputies. So they left. We're going back playing cards and drinking and doing everything that we've been doing. Some of the things I'm not going to mention what they'd been doing. What I'd been doing, drinking and playing cards. Now, when we stopped at the liquor store, one of the guys bought this bottle of liquor. It comes from Mexico or somewhere. down that way. It's called mescal. The worst stuff you can ever put in your mouth. But anyway, I bought a couple bottles of that. And this mescal, whatever you call it, comes with a worm in the bottom of it. Somewhere, long ago, somebody had a bright idea when they was getting the plants and getting the ingredients to make this liquor, found a worm on the darn plant and said, well, let's just throw that in the bottle too. So anyway, it comes with this worm. Now remember, everybody's been drinking all day. This is about 10 o'clock at night. Playing poker, everybody drinking. Then about 11:30, the local deputies show up. And they brought liquor and some food and chips and everything with them. We welcome them all in because they're in law enforcement. It's all a big family, you know. So we all get together playing cards, and they do what they got to do and or want to do, and people are outside, inside, and just having a good time. So sometime during the night, I'm thinking it's about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, while we was playing cards, one of my buddies says, who's going to eat the worm out of the bottle? I knew it wasn't going to be me. Get off camera just a second. I knew I wasn't going to eat the worm, and I really didn't think anybody else was going to eat the worm out of that down my scale bottle. Well, by the way, I had 2 bottles of it, like I said. One of them's already empty. The worm's still in the bottom of one of them. They've already started on this other bottle. I ain't drinking that stuff. I tasted it one time. I ain't drinking it. As I said earlier, I don't drink alcohol. I only drink beer. You didn't catch that on part 1, did you? So they got together and said, here's what we do. We'll cut the worm in pieces. And how they arrange this in their head, I don't know, but whoever had the lowest hand in the poker had to eat part of the worm. Now, I'm not really good at poker, but I was going to make sure I wasn't going to be the lowest hand. There is a way of cheating when you got a bunch of drunks around, you know. So, I did eat the worm. Anyway, it went on and went on and went on. The first worm was gone. They was starting on the second worm. Now, we're talking 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't know. Half the people's passed out. Half of them's over here sick. John's laying over on the floor. He is rolling around on the floor, sick as he can be, throwing up. EMT is over next to me. He says, you all right? Got a nurse standing behind the EMT looking over his shoulder. Got a doctor standing over looking over the nurse's shoulder. About that time, the doctor kind of falls back. I'm behind them. I catch the doctor. I said, you're all right, doctor, I got you. And I set him down. John was all right. All right. I'm going to cut to the chase. Next morning, I woke up. I was on the floor beside the wall in the living room. I woke up. I mean, I gotta have some coffee. I look around. People everywhere. I mean, everywhere on the floor. Some of them still sitting at the table. Everybody's asleep but me. I get up. I gotta have some coffee. So I put some coffee on the stove. A couple of other buddies get up when they smelling the coffee. I didn't tell you that the power went off sometime during the night. Don't know how, don't know why. So a couple of us sitting around the table, and I'm going, now I'm the slow one. I said, damn, I wonder what time that power went off. One of my buddies sitting there looked up at the clock, which is an electric clock. You know, the power's still off. Luckily, we had the gas stove to make the coffee. He looked up at the clock and said, I think it's about 3:30. The other guy started laughing. I said, how do you know? How do you know? Then about that time, I'm going, damn, power's still off. Clock went off at 3:30, 3:33. So, drank my coffee, sitting there, and other people started getting up, you know, staggering around and whatever. I said, man, I sure would like to go fishing, because I don't drink alcohol, I only drink the beer, right? So, about an hour later, you know, we're sitting around, people's getting up and sick, and place is destroyed. I mean, it's a beautiful house. I mean, it's just stuff everywhere. Luckily, we got the county deputies there with us. Ain't got to worry about the county coming back over. So we're sitting there talking, and about that time, I hear this gunshot outside. I said, what the heck is that? We run outside. It looked like it was snowing. These white feathers was coming down out of the sky, just floating everywhere. John's out there, got his gun in his hand. I'm going, John, what happened? And about that time, the guy next door come running out. What did you do to my, whatever he called this thing, this white pet thing he had, one of them. John says, put his middle finger up in the air and says, I'm going to say it just like John said. Top of the morning to you, motherfucker. I grabbed John, got him back in the house. About that time when we got him in the house, one of the local deputies' radio went off, said there was a disturbance at this place. He got on the radio and said, I'll take care of the call. I'm close to it. The deputy said, y'all gonna have to chill out, man. I said, okay, not a problem. Now, by this time, everybody in the house, probably 20 of us, or them, had woken up because of the gunfire outside. I'm going, I want to go fishing. Some of them said, I ain't getting in no damn boat and go no damn fishing. So some of them got the stuff and was going to go home. I said, look, we got 2 or 3 more days. We can do this, you know. 2 or 3 more days, we'll be fine. A couple of doctors said, no, we got to go back. We got to work tomorrow. The nurses said, yeah, we got to go too. And I said, well, don't leave us. John well, if y'all leave, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I thought we was all having fun. They said, well, we are having fun, John. we just got to go to work. I don't, in the back of my mind, because they'd planned on being up there the whole weekend, I don't think they had to go to work. I think they just wanted to get the hell out of Dodge, you know, while there's still time. So anyway, the whole weekend we fished, we played poker, we did this, we did that. Some of them left, some of them stayed, some of my buddies. Now, of course, the local deputies, they had to leave because they had to work that night, or that weekend, after the night they came over. So, come Sunday, it's time to leave. Everybody's got to go. Now, poor John had told his wife we was going fishing. So he got to bring some fish back, right? And we ain't caught a damn fish the whole time we've been up there. Of course, you get a bunch of drunk police officers, nurses, doctors, or not lawyers, doctors, nurses, medics, and everything on a boat. You ain't gonna catch many fish. So that Sunday we was loading up, getting ready to go home, and John said, I don't know what I'm gonna tell my wife. I told her I was gonna bring some fish home. So I said, John, you really want to take some fish home? He said, yeah. I said, I know where we can go. There's about 5 miles down the road from where we was at. I knew of a trout pond where you pay by the pound to catch the trout. John didn't know about it. One of my buddies knew about it. He said, you really want to go there? You know how expensive that place is? I said, hell, I ain't gonna catch no damn fish. John wants to fish behind his back. So we all leave, straighten the house up as best we can. I don't remember any other time we ever got invited back up there, but that's another story. So we all go and end up at this trout pond where you have to pay by the pound. They furnish the bait, the rods, and everything. But there's one rule. You can't throw anything back, you got to keep it. So we're out there, put a little corn or whatever it is they gave us, throw a line out. Time you throw it in the water, you catching a trout. And they give you these 5-gallon buckets to put your trout in. Now, I wasn't a rich guy, so I wasn't gonna keep no fish. And the other guys I don't think were either. But John, he wanted fish. So every time one of us guys would catch a fish, we'd take it off and put it in John's bucket, because people were watching us. We couldn't throw it back. But we were law enforcement officers, you know, we can't do anything wrong. So we kept looking down at John's bucket, and it was getting full. I said, man, sure are catching these fish. I just took the hook on the line, didn't put no bait on it, threw it out there, and caught a fish with no down bait. This is how bad this place was. That's why they charge you by the pound. So anyway, we said, okay, we got to go. Let's go, John. We got plenty of fish. You got plenty of fish. He said, oh, yeah, this is going to be good. We get back to the office there where you fish. This lady put this bucket up on the table, and she already knew what the bucket weighed plus what was in the fish. She weighed that. It was something like $25. Now, you got to remember, back at that time, that was a lot of money. She said, is it going to be cash or charge? We're all standing there next to John. He looked at us and said, I didn't know it was going to be that much. I said, well, we didn't catch no fish. You caught them all, John. So he went in his pocket and got his credit card out, paid for them. And on the way home, I don't know. Why did it cost me so much? And we were all laughing. I'm sure the guys in them other cars and trucks on the way home were laughing too. But like I said, we never got invited back up to that place by the uncle of the officer. Now the sad part about this is John's passed on. Probably late 80s, I'm not sure, but he died. I went to his funeral. A couple more of my buddies went to his funeral. And even after this trip that we went on, John had bought a boat, bought his own boat, and John and I would used to go up to the lake and fish a lot. But when you got good friends, when you got people you work with, live with, or know that are really good friends, some of them stick out in your mind. And John is one of them. John, I'll never forget you. God keep you safe. Love you, guy. Love you.